How you doing, Dan? Sam here. Another video. The film that you're going to see next is a job that I've just been to. It's in Wakefield, and we got called out by a management company for a landlord who said that they'd got some fungus growing in between joists. And if we could go out and have a look at it and just tell them what they needed to what they needed to do to fix it, mould and fungus, they said. When I got there, nearly dropped through the floor. Biggest heartbreaker dry rot that I've ever seen. Well, not that I've ever seen, but it was a big heartbreaker dry rot. And the story is, it's a sandwich shop, and they've got a really big extractor in one of the rooms, and it's got a big ducting. So it ducting's about 2 foot by 2 foot, and it comes through and out through hallway. And this is a preparation room on left at rear of building. And also in that room they've got if you look when you see on video, they've got like a boiler on wall with some hot water pipes running across back up wall, and there's no ventilation in that room. Straight above there's a shower and a toilet at flat that's that's adjacent, that's above it, not adjacent, that's directly above it. So that room is where the toilet is. And what's been happening over a number of years, some water has been probably seeping onto joists, and conditions have bhave been right for dry rot to germinate and to develop, cultivate, whatever you call it. So it'll have started on some damp timber and then started to spread. Looking at it, to me, it looks like there's been some timber repairs carried out not very well. And if you look at the video, there's a batting, and it's about that thick, and it's holding part of the floor up. And then other ones, they've been spliced, and they're not really into the wall. They've just been tacked in. So straight above there's a false floor with pipes going out to the wall. And so what's happened is conditions, the conditions are right, or the conditions have been right for the dry rot to develop and to germinate, which are high humidity caused by the extractor unit. So what you've got is they've been cooking like eggs and breakfast, pizzas, everything, and all that heat's been going up through ducting and then through and out at back. There's no holes in it, but that metal is just really, really hot and warm all day, and that makes it warm inside boiler room, as does the boiler and the pipes. You've got a lot of heat coming out, so basically it's tropical, and that warm air diffuses through floor, through fabric, and up through building. And while it's up there, it's created an even more tropical environment when you've had this seepage or leaking. Now, I didn't go up into the flat, so I hadn't looked in flat because I couldn't get in. So what happens next, you're going to say? What are we supposed to do? Well, we've been out, and that's an ID. So we've identified that it's got dry rot, an outbreak of dry rot. And what happened is, it's been out of way. So plasterboard has been covering it over, and plasterboard must have got wet from seepage, and then it's just fallen in. And that's probably been happening sort of 2 or 3 years. That's your ID. What they should have now, whether they have it, I don't know. I've let the landlord know. And I wouldn't normally go out to something like that, but because he's a mate of mine, and I was working on here, and I said I'd go down. I said, no, I'll go down and I'll just tell you what crack is. So what they should have next is an extent survey. So we go and we test walls, cut patches out and see where strands have gone. So look for last signs of dry rot strands and dry rot paraphernalia. But that means taking stuff up top in next room, and it's an invasive survey. Now if they don't have it done and they cover it over, what could happen? Other thing I couldn't do for him is a report for his insurance company that says that he wouldn't have known that it were there. A lot of insurance companies have got small writing and what they call it in terms and conditions saying you're not covered for dry rot outbreaks. But if you interpret, it's all down to how you interpret these terms and conditions and how people interpret them, because somewhere in them terms and conditions there'll be a term or a condition that contradicts what they've said for not having this dry rot. Because if you can't see it, if there's been an escape of water, you're covered for an escape of water. But if you can't see this dry rot, how are you supposed to know it's there? So you could argue the fact that because you've had this escape of water and you didn't know there were an escape of water because you live in that flat, they're underneath and there were no signs because it's tenanted, then I think you've got a claim. And if the loss adjuster says you're not covered, I think you could go and fight that with Ombudsman, because but you need to read through all terms and conditions and look for a contradicting term or condition. So that's your tip for today. Never take especially never take a loss adjuster's word that your claim is not valid, because loss adjusters just want to make money for insurance companies. And I'll tell you that because I've dealt with them for God knows how many years, and I've told you that on videos before. Never take a no from a loss adjuster. Always fight it and go to Ombudsman or get an expert to look at your terms and conditions, because they're just trying to save money. And they're not an expert in all terms and conditions and paraphernalia. So you read through it, there'll be a contradiction somewhere down there. So they've had experts look at it. These loss adjusters are not experts, I'll tell you that now. Always fight it. So that's Dan Sam's good news for anybody that's got a claim for insurance and they've been rejected. It don't cost you naught to take it to Ombudsman. Put your case together, and I'll do another video on that, like what you should do and what you shouldn't do, on another time when I get time. So that's Dan Sam. Hoping you have a good rest of the day. And because you've got some good value off me, please share this with somebody else, because it might save them a lot of money. Click what they call it, yeah, that button, and subscribe. And I'll see you later. When did it drop down?
We've only been in here, well, we've only been open for 2 weeks, but we've been trying to renovate the front end for 2 months. And when we come in here, that corner, there was a bit of plasterboard in. So we thought it was just a case of she'd had a leak.
Yeah.
So we put a bit of plasterboard in, and then that's what it revealed. So we phoned the letting agent and said, listen, you need to get yourself out of here because this is fucking serious. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
3 weeks to fill it to come out. And then, as I said,